While not a bad course, it is one of the strangest courses that I've taken at WGU in regard to the resources and how they're laid out. Let's talk about it. C179 Business of IT Applications, DIN2. Now, I know that title probably sounds kind of strange, but there's a reason that it's laid out like this is because this actual specific course, I guess, is multiple courses wrapped up into one course. So, like, it's a PA course, it's a 4 CU course, which, usually when you get a 4 CU course, you would kind of think, like, oh, this is going to be a much harder class or a bigger class. And this class was harder, but not because the actual material was harder. It's because that is one of the most lackluster resource type courses that I've ever taken at WGU. But I'll get into that here in a second. But anyway, this is Business of IT Applications. It's just one PA, one task that you have to do, performance assessment. And it's really not that bad of a PA. Like, I think it has 10 sections in it, and if you watch any of my other videos or you're familiar with WGU at all, your performance assessments aren't like regular essays that you would do at a brick and mortar college. I know I've said all this before, but just for people that land on this specific video, at WGU, papers aren't like regular papers that you do at another university. You just go down the rubric and answer the questions. So now that I got that out of the way, I try to repeat it on every single PA course that I do a review on. But nevertheless, it's really not that bad of a task. You just go down and answer the questions. What makes this course kind of strange is that it has like three or four different types. So if you're into a different program, this is a course you will take, but you don't do the same PA that you would do for that other program as you do for the IT management. I don't know what other courses entails taking this specific course, but when you go into the course resources, they have three different templates. So they say, like, if you're in IT management, you do DIN2. If you're in another program, I didn't research it, but I don't know, you do this template. And it's basically like, I don't know, I guess all of them is just a business core class, but if you're in IT management, the actual template and the version of the course that you take in this is like a business core business paper, but it's with IT applications sprinkled into it. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's kind of weird that they did that. And in one of the cohorts that you watch, they explain like this, one of the iterations of this course is one of the last versions, so they're just trying to cycle students through it so they can move on to the new one. Like, I don't know. This whole entire course is very odd. So if you watch any of my other PA videos, you'll see that very rarely do I ever even open the course material, but there was a lot of questions within the rubric on this one where I don't really understand what they were asking for. So on the rare occasion that I do jump into the course material on a PA specific course, it's just to look up a definition or look up like a certain terminology or something that they're looking for. So there was a few questions on there, so I jumped into the course material, and the way they have this course set up is that once you jump into the course material, which on 99% of the other courses that I've taken to WGU, the course material is basically just the book. I mean, usually it's like the McGraw-Hill type books, and those ones are awful and I hate them. But some of them are pretty good. But I jumped into this one, and it's just, if you jump into the course material, it has the 6 different sections for this course, but there's no reading in them. They're just links. They're links to other books and other videos. And most of those videos don't line up at all with the question that it's asking in the rubric of the PA. I don't know if that makes sense, but like you jump in the first question, I jump into the course material, I would go into the first section to see what they were looking for, and it was just a link to another book by somebody. So I'd open that, and it didn't have like exactly what I was looking for. Here, I'll give you an example of the question. The submission accurately describes the steps of incident management and how they should be applied to address the issues. So if you go into the course material and you look up, for one, let me just say this, and when you actually click on the course material, a lot of other courses have a search bar up top. So if you're looking for a specific term or whatever, you can just type that term into the search bar. There's no search bar in this. You just have to kind of delve into all of the different sections to find what you're specifically looking for. So I went in the cohorts, they give you like a little chart of, okay, this is in this section, this is in this section. So I went to the section that had supposedly had incident management, and you click on the link that takes you to another book, and there's no steps to incident management. Like they have a section on incident management, but there's no like specifically designed section that says these are the steps of incident management. It just has like a laundry list of different things involved in incident management. So there's no way to really disseminate, all right, is this a step of incident management, or is this just like a part of what, you know what I mean? Like it was such a confusing way. And that wasn't the only section that they did that on. There's multiple sections or multiple parts of the rubric where they wanted you to look up something. You looked up that one thing and it didn't really give you a definitive answer of what that was. So I just wanted to like tell you guys, you should be aware of that, is that this is a poorly laid out course. This is one of the few times that I'm actually going to write a review. Or I don't know if you guys have taken courses yet at WGU, but you can actually go into at like an end of course survey and you can give them feedback on what you thought of the course. And I've only done it with like one other course, but this is for sure one that I'm going to go in and say the way you guys have this course set up is just terrible. It's not good. You know, there's no way to actually. I did more Googling, you know, to try to find the answers of what I was looking for. But even then, like I've said this before, is like you want to try to focus more on the WGU specific material, because if you start Googling things, it's going to give you answers that aren't necessarily WGU specific. And especially PAs, they want WGU specific answers. But within this course, there's no good way to make sure that you're answering it the way WGU wants it answered. So this whole entire course was very frustrating. I hate to make this just a bitch session about all the things I didn't like about this, but I just wanted you guys to be aware is that you're going to really have to like dive into the fine details and really do a lot of searching, because that link to the book, like the external book that they give you, is a very long book, and it has a search bar, but it's also not a good search bar. If you type in incident management, it'll give you every single section that says management and every single section that has the word incident in it, which you would be surprised how much is in there. One last thing I'll say that's kind of bitching about it is that usually I've taken probably close to 20, if not more, or done 20 tasks at WGU, and almost every PA course has a task overview video. Now that might be kind of cheap, you know, but I really appreciate it because, like, again, the rubric is looking for very specific answers, and if you don't give them the exact very specific answer they're looking for, you'll fail that part of the rubric and it'll need sent back for revisions. So I think literally every single other PA course I've taken at WGU has a task overview, which it goes by section that says, hey, this is where you can find this is kind of what they're looking for, you know, this is how to do this part. But this course didn't have it. This course has one cohort that gives you the most minimal amount of information possible. It's almost even pointless to watch that cohort. You know, it's not very long, but it gives you virtually no information of the only good thing that it did give you was that chart I told you that says like, hey, section 1 has this. But I don't know how much that even helps, because once you go into those sections of the course material, there's really not a whole lot in there, you know? And like, I hate to turn this whole entire video into just me complaining about this course, but it's really frustrating because you spend a lot of time just figuring out, how do I find this answer? You know, like even certain things, there'll be words that they ask for in the rubric, like, hey, what are the steps of this? And you'll go into the course material and they'll change what the word is. So like, I think one of them was like key contributors, but there's no, like, they're asking for what are the key contributors, but that's not how they word key contributors in the course material. It's like key something, like key responsibilities or something like that. So you don't even really know what they're asking for. So I don't know. I'm going to quit bitching about this course. It really wasn't that hard of a course, just it's frustrating when you're like, oh, okay, well, I can knock out a PA pretty quick, but then you start like trying to dive into the questions that they're asking you and you can't even figure out what they are, you know? So I don't know. I'm done complaining about it, but I just wanted to let you guys be aware that you're going to have to, I guess, use critical thinking, which maybe this is the point of this course right here, is like they want you to be kind of confused and trying to come up with your own answer. I don't know. I'm leaning more towards this course was just poorly put together. That's all I really have on this course. I'm sorry that I spent the whole entire video complaining and bitching about it, but it's just, this was an irritating course. But nevertheless, it's really not that hard. You just have to just go down and answer the questions, come up with a BS answer if you have to. You can knock this course out realistically in like a couple days, and most of that time is just trying to Google or, dive into the material. They have like, on each section, they have like several, 2 to 5 minute videos that you can watch, and those helped out a little bit. But again, it's like the verbiage is mixed up within the task template questions and the actual course material, information. So, I don't know, you just kind of got to BS your way through this. Just go down and answer the questions. I followed the rubric to a T, so I luckily didn't have to do any revisions, and this came back pretty quick. So, but I think it was like 1,500 words in like 8 pages with double spacing. So, yeah, just go down, answer the questions the best you can. Try to research as much as you can, but if you can't really figure out what they're asking, just give a BS answer and wait for them to send you revisions back and follow the revision guidelines, and you'll be fine on this course. Now, you guys are getting 2 videos. I already completed project management. I completed that last week, or actually a week before. I didn't do a whole lot last week. But so you're going to get 2 videos today, and yeah, so I'm going to get working on that next video, and I'll see you guys on that one.